Hey Double O's, Blake over at Bond Life Chicago with another 00 fight breakdown. Today, Tomorrow Never Dies, what I'm going to call the studio fight scene. Bond's getting what I call tuned up in a music studio, somewhere where they record music or like news or radio, by 4 of Carver's guards or henchmen, and he's got to get out of there, obviously. So in the fight itself, it's pretty quick, and because of the way that they choose to depict it, some of it's hard for me to tell what is actually going on, but Bond uses some good boxing combinations, some good punches from boxing type fight style, as well as his situational awareness, which, as always, you guys hear me say it all the time, I love. Without further ado, so Bond, as I said, is against 4 henchmen. He's already getting beat up. He's getting quite a few punches. He's just got a gut punch. He's getting picked up, and he's being held by one of these guards from behind as one of the other ones throwing all the punches. And now I guess I'll go back a second. All 4 of these guards, so 4 plus 1, Bond's obviously outnumbered. All these guards also look substantially bigger in weight and stature than Bond. That doesn't mean that they're going to win the fight, but just something to keep in mind. So Bond's being held back, and somebody's throwing punches at him. And as that guy who's throwing the punches winds back to throw another big punch to the face, Bond ducks to the left, and that guy knocks out the guy who's been holding him. So now Bond's free, and he's out of the question. The guy in the front, or actually, I'm sorry, it's the guy behind the guy throwing punches who's actually got like a small little mini bat, steps up to try to hit Bond with the bat, and because Bond's ducked off to the side, he's able to grab the henchman who's just standing there so close that Bond can grab him, and he kind of pulls him in front of him, and the guy with the bat hits that henchman in the back. Now, one thing I want to say about that, when you're fighting multiple people, what it's called, or at least what I call it, is called stacking your opponents. So if I've got 2 people, I've got to fight 2 people here. Now, if I'm able to either maneuver in one way or bring somebody in between, I only have to fight one person at a time because the 2 people are in line with each other. They can't both attack me at the same time if they're in line stacked, as I like to say, because it's 1 versus 1, and I have to deal with the second person once I'm done dealing with this first person. So Bond does a good job of stacking the opponents. He brings that one opponent from his right. He brings him into the middle. That guy gets hit with the bat. That guy kind of falls over. Now with the guy with the bat, Bond throws a combination of punches that are, again, like I said, are more of like a boxing style. So the first one, he throws a left to the body, a right to the body, and then he works his way up, and he throws 2 combination strike to the face, kind of knocking that guy out. Now, this is where it's a little bit difficult to tell what's going on. You can hear in the sound that there's more punches and hits being thrown back and forth, but because the camera angle is going to now the guy watching Carver speak in the opposite of the studio room where like the producers would be for like the radio show, as he's kind of not paying attention, it's off in the back. You see that there's a variety of strikes being thrown just back and forth, and you see Bond pick up a large cello, and he hits somebody in the head with it, knocking that guy over. And as he's still standing there with the glass behind him, one of the henchmen charges him and tackles him through the glass, and now they're in that same room. And as he regathers himself and the henchman that tackled him is getting up, Bond throws a right hook at that henchman, knocking him over across the table or the desk area there. And as he turns to address the second henchman in the room, that henchman throws a big left hook at Bond, knocking him off to the side. At this point, he's like, forget this. I've already dealt with enough of these guys. He picks up a big microphone stand, and now as he comes back from that corner, he swings it once, hits that henchman with it. He swings it a second time, knocks that same henchman out, and then he turns, and the guy that he just threw a right hook shot to, the punch to that knocked him over the table, is trying to get Stomper over the radio. He's talking, but he's not getting a response back. And this is one thing where it's kind of a little bit more showy, a little bit more campy Bond. Instead of just kind of going and knocking him out, he walks over, he finds a glass ashtray. Yeah, this will do the trick. And he cracks it on the back of the head of that henchman, knocking him out. And then, of course, from there, as he's watching Carver speak on the radio or on the TV, as the one henchman was initially, he walks over to the power. And, of course, we get one of Bond's classic lines. I think it's time for a station break. and he cuts the power, obviously interrupting Carver's presentation there, which infuriates him. And so along with the rest of the film, we know what happens from there. Hope you guys like this one. As always, if you're serious about self-defense and martial arts, please find a local gym in your area. It's a great way to stay safe. It's a great way to stay fit. And it's a great way to bring a little bit of bond into your everyday life. See you guys next time.